What's up, RPS fam? It's time to sound design. Now, before I play the demo, quick heads up, you might need a change of pants after I play the demo, so make sure you get that ready. Anyways, this is what it sounds like. Hey, what's up, producers? Welcome to a brand new tutorial. Now, this preset is available in the description below, but there is some post-processing, which I'm going to show you in the video. So stick around to the end of the video because I'm also going to be showing you what is actually making the sound like it does. So you can actually create the similar sounds in your own music and just apply those principles. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump straight into the tutorial here. Alrighty, boys. First things first, taking a look at X for Serum, we have the sub oscillator turned on as well as A and B. Okay, these are going to be driving the entire sound. So first, let's start off with the sub. The sub is just going to be used as a little bit of griminess or grittiness in the background. We just turn on the sawtooth waveform because it's a nice and gritty waveform, and we just turn on the level to around 75%, and then boom, we get almost like a little distortion in the background of the sound, and that's just what we're doing. We're just leaving it just as it is. Okay, and now we're going to go ahead and turn on oscillator B because oscillator B is going to be the starting point for the frequency modulation. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn on basic shapes, and we're going to select this to a square waveform. The reason we do that is because the difference between a square waveform and a sawtooth waveform when we're running frequency modulation creates insane results. So we just want to go ahead and turn on frequency modulation and create a extend to around 55% here. And now once we run that, we can go ahead and turn on our oscillator B, which is going to be, as I said, a sawtooth waveform. Now, as I said, the difference between these two creates a really awesome harmonic effect that you can only hear when we're running frequency modulation. So we go ahead and turn up the octave up to really increase the pitch differential between these two, and that's when we get the sound like that. Okay, if I were to turn off the sub, you can hear what I'm talking about. It's really, really a nice tone, and if you want to get crazy, you could turn up the octave even more or less. All right, so anyways, now what we're going to be doing here is we're simply just going to turn up the unison to 10 on both oscillator A and oscillator B. That way we have 10 voices running all at the same time, and that creates a nice thick effect, very thick if I do say so myself. And by just turning the detuning to around 10, and we have 22 on here, that just are different. It just makes it sound a lot cleaner while also still having that monoed sound, okay? Alrighty, so now we already got our setup. All we gotta do is turn on our LFO number one, LFO number one onto the level here and just boost this 100%. So we're going from 0 all the way to 100, okay? The reason why we're doing this and not just leaving it stagnant like the sub is because right here we have absolutely no sound being heard. There's just a little bit, and the sub is just going to be the only oscillator playing, and that's going to be the really grittiness, and then all of a sudden this amazing harmonic sound is going to jump in, which just adds a little bit more movement to the sound. So we put this on trigger, and that way it repeats itself, and put it on 1/4 just for a good speed here. Okay, now to the distortion. These are all just to clean up the sound. We simply distorted it a little bit using some tube. Okay, very basic distortion. Turn up the mix and put that drive to just 65. All right, filtering. This is a part that's really going to make the sound vocal. If I turn off the filter, okay, doesn't really sound that good. Okay, we turn on the filter now, and all of a sudden it sounds like it's speaking to us. What are you saying? Oh, word, Excision, okay. So we turn down the cutoff to around 48 hertz, and now we just modulate this, okay, using the same LFO that we just used, and we just turn this up to around, 30%. Perfect. And that's what creates a nice vocal sound because we're cutting out the low end frequencies in the high pass, and that's what creates an awesome vocal tone. Now we can also do this using by turning up the resonance, and that's going to make the vocal presence even stronger. All right, let's go ahead and turn on the multiband compressor. That way our sound is a little bit more fat. Okay, we do this because it evens out all the frequencies as well. So just make sure multiband is turned on in your compressor. And finally, we just added in hyper dimension. I'm not going to be going over these settings because it's very straightforward. I want to be teaching you guys something. EQ here, we are just creating a notch filter, and this is around 216 hertz. And if you guys want your sounds to instantly sound a little bit more talk-like, like vocalish, just go ahead and cut out this frequency. Just like that, you're going to be able to create some really, really awesome results. Finally, we just finish it off with a little bit of reverb, but I said that there are some post-processing effects. Actually, there's only one, and this is where your socks are gonna get blown off your feet, baby. let's go ahead and turn on Growlify. Okay, this is the plugin we're going to be using to post-process this. And guys, without it, that's what we currently have. Let's turn on Growlify. Okay. So, Growlify is obviously making a very big difference. If you want to go ahead and grab the Growlify plugin, the link is down in the description below. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's actually being automated. Okay, so we're simply just modulating the talk to make it speak a little bit more, and also we're just decreasing the time once we get to this area. That way the reverb doesn't, overlap itself as much. As you can hear, it becomes a lot more present when we turn on the Growlify plugin. And without it, and we turn on our Growlify plugin, and you can hear how much of a difference this actually ends up making in our sound. So if you guys want to go ahead and grab this, there's a ton of things you can do with it. It actually turns any sound into like a heavy bass. That's why we're using this in the sound. We want to make it sound even more heavier, but this isn't mandatory for the sound, obviously. There's a lot you can do in just Serum, but Growlify will go ahead and take any sound that you already made and make it a million times more awesome. So without further ado, guys, my name is Shane from Rocket Parrot Sound. Link below to go ahead and grab the Growlify plugin, and make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button if you like this video. If you also like the video, click that like button. Anyways, guys, I'm moving to Finland, so my video schedule has been kind of bad lately. I have a lot of stuff going on. So without further ado, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next Serum tutorial, hopefully next week.